I'm Anne McMullen, and I am President and CEO of the Urban Development Institute.
And I'm John Stovell, Chair of UDI.
And it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the 2016 UDI Awards for Excellence. And we are thrilled this evening to have MLA for Vancouver False Creek, Sam Sullivan, here to deliver a message from the province of British Columbia.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, John. Congratulations on this incredible event. I'm bringing greetings from our Premier, Christy Clark, and I just wanted to say how much we appreciate what you do. We have a big issue of housing price, and when we think that the real answer to that is supply, and that's you guys. And I've always really envied you in many ways because all of us are busy in our different lives and what we do, but what you do is going to last way beyond the time when all of us are gone. 100 years from now, the creations that you make will still be here. And so it's so important that you guys get it right, that you use intelligence, that you use foresight and quality. And that's what you do, and Vancouver's becoming very famous for that. So on behalf of the provincial government, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, MLA Sam Sullivan. This is one of the largest and most important events for our industry. We are pleased to see a sold-out crowd tonight and excited to have Brian Jackson as our Master of Ceremonies. To be judged excellent by a group of development industry experts specializing in areas such as architecture, planning, sustainability, finance, and development is the highest commendation one can receive from their peers.
We have an outstanding group of developers in our organization, and our members push the boundaries of excellence, and when you travel the world, you can appreciate the quality of development done right here in British Columbia. Every nominee and entry in tonight's awards deserves our recognition. To be a winner and to be determined the best, we must be pushed towards achieving excellence by the strength of our peers and competition in the industry. This year, I am proud to say that we have received a record number of submissions and have expanded the categories to reflect changing demographics in the region, including a lot of growth in the Fraser Valley. And that is what tonight is all about, recognizing that the progress of our industry and the development of our cities is determined by the innovation and leadership of our membership. Since its founding in 1972, UDI has been incentivizing its members to develop the most progressive communities and projects. But it was not until 1984 that the institution of the Awards of Excellence provided a direct means to celebrate and showcase the leading projects and leading developers in our industry. It is important to remember, too, that good ideas and innovative projects come from the past have led us to where we are today, and what we will see from the winners tonight will lead our industry forward to the future. I would like to thank our awards jury for their hard work. The quality and quantity of the submissions this year made their task very difficult, and we ask them to please stand to be recognized. Please hold your applause till we've introduced everybody. Sandra Cawley, Burgess Cawley Sullivan, Mark Holland, Holland Planning Innovations, Carla Guerrera, Purpose Driven Planning, Strategy and Development, Mike Keenan, Avison Young, and Lauren Burns, KPMG, Norm Shearing, Dockside Green, Neil Crystal, Polygon Homes, Jim Bussey, Formworks Architecture, and Jim Huffman, Perkins & Will. Please give a round of applause to our jury.
And we'd also like to thank the awards committee who have put an enormous amount of time to make this event the success that it is. Again, if you could hold your applause. And again, our head of our committee was Sandra Cawley, Burgess Cawley Sullivan, Leon Bogner, Bogner Development, Ben Smith Consultant, Hutan Rafi, the Beatty Group, Patty Glass, Grosvenor Americas, Derek Townsend, City Fund Capital. Kim Barnsley, Michael Green Architecture. So all of you, thank you very much. And we'd also like to thank the UDI staff and volunteers for their tremendous effort and hard work. Thank you very much. And as well as our special guests, elected officials, along with Sam Sullivan, we would also like to recognize Councillor Melissa DeGenova from the City of Vancouver. Thank you. And now for one of our special events, I would like to call upon Zuhair Manzourati.
Thank you, Anne. Good evening, everybody. We're all pleased to honor a very distinguished inductee tonight. This recognition goes to a man who has made a lifelong contribution to our industry and community. And we would like to take a moment to acknowledge and honor Nat Bosa.
I was born in a small town in northern Italy. I was one of 11 kids, 8 brothers, 3 sisters, 8 boys and 3 girls. 4 of my older brothers immigrated to Vancouver in the 50s, early 50s, mid 50s, and then I came with the rest of the family in 1958. I grew up on Boundary and Adnac, and the house is still standing. I don't like to call myself necessarily a carpenter because a carpenter usually knows what he's doing. A framer is a rougher version of a carpenter. That's what I was. So that was my first job when I think I was about 16. I started with one of my brothers, Bosa Brothers, in about 1967. That kept on going until 1986 when I started Bosa Development. Citygate has to be the most important one. It was right after I started Bosa Development, not long after, a few years. And that truly, to me, and it's still to this day, it really defines the edge of the city on the east side. So that definitely had to be one of my, that's the most important project I think I've done in Vancouver. Sometimes you can plan to develop a project that really works great and it doesn't turn out. Well, Newport Village was designed to be just a project and it turned out to be great. You know, it's a great little hub that many parts of North America and around the world came to copy that. Whistler, I really hit it smack on the head when I went there. IntraWest had just bought the mountain. They needed somebody to build, so they invited me up there. And they sold me a hell of a lot of sites until they decided that instead of selling all the seeds, they want to harvest some of them, seed some themselves and harvest themselves. But it was good. Whistler was very good. In New Westminster, in about 1984, I was asked to submit, which would have been the only bid to the government. We went in there. That was, when you say a risk, that was a risk. We were just coming out of the '81 recession. And that was a huge success. Did a lot in Coquitlam and Port Moody, around different areas. Burnaby here, we built a hell of a lot of it right around here. The real defining projects that is close to me, I would have to say, is Citygate in Vancouver and the skyline that I'm changing in San Diego, which is very, very prominent. I'm back in the States, and I wish that in the States I had a little bit more competition. There's very few people building condominiums. San Francisco is different. San Francisco is quite a few. When I started San Francisco in 2010, that was the first big project that any bank financed as a condominium in the United States. So that's quite something. San Diego's, we are there right now. We were, of course, when I started there in 1998, 99. And now we restarted with a very high-end project, which is all new to San Diego. But there's hardly no supporting cast. Everybody's building rentals. Basically, downtown, I'm the only one. Competition is like this. It's just like building blocks. Well, I'll put this building block. Come along. I'd like you to come along and put the next one. Well, we are having to lay all of them ourselves. We are there. We are under construction with 2 big projects, and I think we're going to do okay. Philanthropy is part of what we do. We have done some that we're very proud of, and we're looking to do more going forward. The Monarch School in San Diego is special because this is basically homeless kids, and they just opened about 2 weeks ago a portion of the school to learn trades. So this school is special because it affords a lot of students a great facility to learn, and and an opportunity to be a somebody. We've supported a lot of causes, but I guess the major one that I've done is the film school at Cap University. Really, developers in Vancouver do not know what real markets are like. This is a one-off. This is probably the best markets anywhere in North America, for sure. I think Vancouver is going to be good for a long time. Even though it rains a hell of a lot sometimes, it's still a place that people want to live. You're not going to take that away. So the market for Vancouver, I think, is going to bode well, going forward.
So to help us celebrate Nat's success, we'd like to bring our diplomatic and deferential developer, Rob McDonald, up to talk to us tonight.
Thank you very much. So is that live? Good. Good evening. I'm Rob McDonald. It's really a great load of fun to be acquainted with Nat Boza as a friend. And I appreciate being asked to induct Nat into the Urban Development Institute's Hall of Fame. Our country of Canada is extremely fortunate to have Nat Boza as a citizen. His imagination, entrepreneurship, and absolutely atomic energy has provided many thousands of good quality homes to Canadians across this entire nation, from Montreal, Quebec, to Victoria, BC. Nat has been a powerful engine of economic activity in this country for almost 60 years now, even though he doesn't look a day over, say, 58 maybe. Nat's efforts in the real estate development field have created millions of good-paying jobs for Canadian citizens, from architects, engineers, lawyers, accountants, and thousands upon thousands of tradespeople of every possible description. He helped and allowed these people to live good lives and be the backbone of this country, but doesn't start without a guy like Nat. Nat has given more people a chance and a hand up in society than any social program ever devised. Nat has also helped nurture many other entrepreneurs who have themselves gone on to great success. The taxes that Nat's operations have created have paid for and maintained our hospitals, schools, roads, and governments across this entire nation. Such is the power of one very special man's efforts. Nat has all the qualities that we admire in a successful businessman and humanitarian. He has achieved great success due to his intelligence, integrity, experience, hard work, and sheer determination. And most importantly, he deals with people on the basis of respect and dignity. And he's always treated me that way, and I appreciate it. He treats others the way he hopes to be treated himself, which is the golden rule of his faith. His exterior may be slightly rough sometimes. He might use the odd swear word on occasion. But his heart and mind and his guts are that of a true gentleman. When someone's a true gentleman, it's very rare, but Nat is a real gentleman. It's very hard to adequately thank a man for uplifting the lives of so many others. But the least we can do as fellow citizens is recognize Nat Boza's achievements and honor him as we are doing this evening. Nat Boza, your family, friends, and peers admire you, and we thank you for your immense contributions to this country. You, sir, are a great Canadian. Please take the stage to receive your Urban Development Institute Hall of Fame Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nat Boza.
First of all, thanks, Rob, but don't believe a small portion, a small part of what he said. It's not. Thanks, Rob. This honor coming from my peers is very dear, very gratifying, and I want to thank everybody to be here, and thanks for bestowing this on me. Thanks very much.
Our list of entries.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart.
Oh, I hear some personal favorites in there. Well, thank you, Anne, and thank you, John, members of the UDI board, UDI members, honored guests. I am your MC for tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to get serious for a moment and pay homage to Bing Tom, who we lost just a few weeks ago. You know, Bing Tom was one of Vancouver's best architects, urban designers, and thinkers. We lose too many people too soon. Bing's latest high-rise on Harwood is amazing, and if you have a chance to see it, it's in the 1200 block. It's just amazing. But his legacy goes beyond Vancouver to Richmond, to Surrey, to Washington, D.C., and many other cities. So I'd like you to raise your glass, your cup, your dessert in a tribute to our Bing Tom. Bing always had a twinkle in his eye, and he had an incredible sense of humor. Didn't know him really well, but I did know him through the projects I worked on in Richmond that he was involved in. And so my job here tonight is not just to move things along, and I will move things along, but also to try and make you laugh at our industry and us as people and what we do, because we have to make every moment on this planet full of joy and laughter. So on with the show. So it's been an incredible year since I retired, and you know, I had a whole bunch of you offer me advice as to what I should do when I retire. Robert Fung from Salient, he says to me, well, you've got to relax, you know. So I did what most people in Vancouver do, you know, to relax. Thank you to the City of Vancouver for working to keep the stores open. Councillor DeGenova, thank you. And Peter Webb, you know, from Concord, he says to me, well, it's not just relaxing, you've got to take care of yourself. So I did what all Vancouverites do, you know, I took up yoga and Pilates and mindfulness and all of this. And it started to work. And then, you know, I think it was Anita Malero from the City of Vancouver. She says, well, you know, you should think about getting some work done. You know, and I looked at my face and thought about all the filler and the lips and all that stuff, and I thought, no, that wasn't for me. And then, you know, somebody says, well, you should forget about all this development stuff, and you should really go into recycling. So I threw myself into recycling. Oh, there's my Prada loafers. But it really wasn't what I wanted. Most of you suggested, and I think it was Gary Pooney of all, who said, you know, you've got to get into consulting. So I started small, and I started on the street, and I grew from there, and now I'm a consultant, like some of you. But you know, a lot of you thought that I was destined for the entertainment industry. And so I thought about it, and I thought, you know, is this for me? Anyway, enough about me. I was told to keep this moving quickly. I understand that if we're all not back in our apartments by 12 midnight, Vancouver City Council declares our apartments vacant. And rents them out to less fortunate people, like conservatives. As the MC, I get to explain the rules. Yay! So now's a good time to check your emails, look at that hot woman and man in the next table. Now remember, you've had a few drinks. You can go online to see what latest nutcase Trump has just nominated to his cabinet. So due to the volume of entries, the jury was split into 3 groups. Each group is assigned submissions depending on their area of expertise, and they're not assigned projects that they had anything to do with. These groups created a short list of projects who are then discussed by the jury as a whole. Anyone on the jury who has been part of the team must recuse themselves from that part of the vote, and that keeps everything legal. The jury is then given scorecards with a point system for a number of categories, which include but are not limited to built form, public community and amenity spaces, sustainability, sense of place, overall design, livability, and project success. After viewing the projects and much discussion, a decision is eventually reached for each category. The jury has even moved projects from one category to another when they feel that's appropriate. And believe me, that's no easy task. I mean, when you look at the projects that were before you tonight, throughout the Lower Mainland, throughout Vancouver Island, and in the interior, it's no easy task. There are so many good projects. Our jury has volunteered many, many long hours to this process, and it's taken some very hard decisions. So thanks again to our jury. So now on with the show. Our first award of the night is Mixed Use. If I could have Dave Telfer from HSBC Canada, our gold sponsor, to say a few words.
Thank you, Brian. And I am Dale Telfer with HSBC, and it happens early. And I have been warned, too, about the brevity of speaking. So I would just like to offer and say that on behalf of HSBC and my commercial real estate finance colleagues at our table, shout out to Table 20, that we are very proud and excited about these awards and very happy to be sponsoring the category. And I really take my hat off to these developers who, this category in particular is one that has so many variables in pulling together a number of asset classes and managing those and selling and leasing and developing a bunch of asset classes into what really is one project is really quite a feat. So with that said, back to you, Brian, and let's watch the nominees.
Our finalists in mixed use category are
Mixed Use, Sovereign, Bosa Properties. Marine Gateway, PCI Developments Corporation. Station Square, Anthem Properties, and BD Living.
And the winner is Marine Gateway, developed by PCI Developments Corporation.
Thank you very much. Marine Gateway was a terrific team effort, and I'd like to acknowledge our wonderful team at PCI. My colleague Dan Turner, my partner, who has been involved in the project since it started in 2007, 9 long years ago. Also our VP, Andy Croft, who's been with us for 27 years building projects like Marine Gateway, and we think is one of the great professionals in our industry. Aaron Colbert, Tim Grant, Cynthia Lim, and also particularly like to thank our contractor, LedCorp, Peter Herlichka and Ray Brown, our great architects, Perkins and Will, Ryan Bragg, David Dove, and our lenders, HSBC, who was a very great supporter of this project. So thank you very much to Dale. Thank you.
Congratulations to PCI. You know, I'm so glad to be asked back by UDI to speak again and to host this evening. Of course, that probably means I'm going to get another plaque. I hate plaques. I have a lot of plaques. Shane, you want to build affordable housing out of plaques? I've got a lot of them. And I have 2 words for you. Gift card. I have another 2 words for you, and it's not Tim Hortons. Holt Renfrew. The next category is Industrial, sponsored by RBC Royal Bank. Your finalists are
Industrial, Texcan, West Group Properties. Eastlake, Adira Development Corporation. FedEx Ground, BD Development Group.
And the winner is Texcan, developed by West Group Properties.
Hi, everybody. My name's Harp. I'm from West Group Properties. In the words of Bo Jarvis from a few years ago, I had nothing to do with this project. But I am absolutely honored to be up here and speaking in front of everybody in this room and the wealth of knowledge that's here for the next generation, which is myself and all the other people that I work with. I do have an opportunity to work with all of the people that did actually work on TexCan, and they're just brilliant people, very talented, very skilled, and they have a lot to offer to everybody here and to myself. So thank you very much. I'm very honored. Thank you.
Everybody works with consultants, right? You know, but they can be expensive. You know, a man goes to a planning consultant for help, and he says, well, what's your least expensive fee? And the planner says, well, it's $80 for 3 questions. And the guy says, well, that's kind of expensive, isn't it? He says, yeah, what's your 3rd question? Next we have Commercial Retail Office, sponsored by Coast Capital Savings. Here are your finalists.
Commercial Retail Office, Marine Gateway, PCI Developments Corporation. Coast Capital Headquarters, PCI Developments Corporation. MNP Tower, Oxford Properties Group.
And the winner is NP Tower by Oxford Properties.
Thank you, Brian. My name's Chuck Wee. I'm with Oxford Properties. I did want to take a few moments to say thank you for what's been the last 7 years of my life. To the people that approved this development on spec, our trusted co-owner, thank you CPPIB. They co-own all of the assets, office assets that we have in Vancouver. To the people that challenged us to do better, to create something that was worthy of standing next to the Marine building and that would change the Cole Harbour skyline. Thank you to the City of Vancouver, and thank you to the Urban Design Panel. I think we got it right on the 2nd try. To the architects that shared our vision and were able to not only create something that's unique to the market, but also enhance and revitalize the block. Thank you, KPF out of New York and MCM, who's with us tonight. To the builder that helped guide the project to completion, and only a little bit late, thanks to Ledcor. They were great, terrific partner. To the 24 tenants and the brokers that worked with them, some of whom are here tonight, that chose to make this address their new home, CBRE, Silver Wheaton, LGM, David Hawksworth, and of course MNP. Thank you for sharing in our vision and taking our development to 100% leased. And a special thanks to the judges tonight and to UDI. We always knew that MNP Tower was a special achievement in urban development, and we're thankful that you guys agree. Thank you very much.
So I'd like to invite MLA Sam Sullivan to join us back on the stage for the next category, which is ground-oriented multifamily, sponsored by BC Housing.
Ground-oriented multifamily, Black and Whites on Foster, Intracorp Projects. Mason, Boffo Properties. Heritage, the Infinity Group of Companies.
The winner is Black and Whites on Foster, developed by Intracorp Projects.
Well, it's great to be up here. Great job, Mr. Jackson. Here we are. It's an honor to be recognized in a market in Vancouver that has so many fantastic developments, so many fantastic developers, and it's just a great, great honor to be here. I just wanted to say a few things and thank the team. Our team at Intercorp is fantastic. There's a lot of passion put into this, and I think a shout out to Morris Pez, who put a lot of passion into the design of that. We had a vision for it, and I think it really came off well. The market loved it. I wanted to thank the City Council of Coquitlam. This was an assembly that we put together of 18 RS1 lots that wasn't in the plan, and we really advocated with the city and council, and they really recognized that there was a need for family-oriented housing and location. So they got that, and it got approved, and it got built. So thank you to Ramsey Warden, fantastic architects, and BYU, which is the interior design. So thank you, and let's go through it.
You know, as many of you know, Sam Sullivan is not only an MLA, but he was our former mayor. And as such, he's part of this legacy for the city of Vancouver, which has made this city so incredible. And it is so incredible for a variety of reasons. You know, it's the only place where you can borrow money for the down payment, get a first and second mortgage, and still consider yourself a homeowner. The next up is Urban Residential, sponsored by Travelers Insurance Company. The finalists are
Urban Residential, Empire at QE Park, Intergulf Development Group, Prodigy, Adira Development Corporation. The Shore 2, Adira Development Corporation.
And the winner is Prodigy by Adira Development.
Well, thank you very much to the Urban Development Institute and for the panel of judges. Prodigy was one of our projects that we tried very hard to improve on a number of other projects that we had in the area, and we did it significantly. Part of the project was about water, and we delivered that in spades. A lot of people comment on that to this very day. But you know, the team that was involved in this it was broad. It involved a lot of different people. It took a lot to get it all together. At the end of the day, it was a very winning project, and so thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, I got the impression there's a lot of millennials at this table here. Everybody's talking about millennials now. You know what the real difference between millennials and baby boomers is? Baby boomers can't wait to pay off their mortgage. Millennials can't wait to get a mortgage. It's the only difference. It's the only difference. Speaking of mortgages, I'd like to ask Greg Vrend from the Bank of Montreal, a platinum sponsor. Can I get a platinum card? And Ward McAllister with Lettingham McAllister to come up and say a few words.
Doing a great job, Brian. I'm here to talk about the Maureen Enser Award. It's really a huge honor to be asked to present this award tonight because Maureen is so special to me. In her 30 years as Executive Director of the Urban Development Institute, Maureen Enser was very committed to recruiting, encouraging and mentoring young UDI members and fostering their growth and ambitions, always recognizing that it was they who will become the next future leaders of our industry. I actually know that as a fact. I had the privilege and honor of being one of those young people, if you can believe it. In my very early 20s, just new to the industry, Maureen encouraged me to get involved in UDI. By my mid-30s, I was encouraged to join the board, and by my late 30s, I was informed that I had no choice but to become the new president of UDI Pacific and chairman of our national board at UDI Canada. It was an extremely invaluable and rewarding experience for me, and none of it would have been possible without Maureen's unwavering friendship, support, and mentorship, and for that I will be eternally grateful. Future leadership in our industry was and is still so vitally important to her. With that in mind, she initiated the very successful group within UDI, now known as U40. When Maureen decided to retire in 2012, we could not think of a more fitting recognition of her invaluable contribution to our industry and its youth than to create the Maureen Enser Award. This award recognizes a UDI member 40 years old or younger who has shown exemplary leadership, vision, and made significant contributions, have improved their companies, UDI, the development industry in general, and the communities they are involved in. The recipient of this award has been nominated by their peers and selected by the Urban Development Institute Board of Directors, making this honor even more meaningful. In all, this is a really big deal award. Thank you, Maureen. And now to announce this year's winner is Greg Ferran from the Bank of Montreal. Greg?
Thank you, Ward. And the winner is Daniel Boffo of Boffo Properties. Daniel was one of the founding members of the U40 group, actively participating in its growth and becoming himself a mentor to young people seeking to succeed in the development business through hosting leadership breakfast and sharing his experiences. His true passion is design, architecture, and real estate, and he keeps this at the forefront of every new initiative he undertakes. As part of the Boffo Properties mission, the Boffo Foundation is an integral part of the company. Through this foundation, the company is able to support local organizations in each of the communities in which they build. Daniel wholeheartedly believes that inclusive communities with a variety of socioeconomic, cultural, and religious backgrounds truly contribute to the Canadian fabric. We are all pleased that you are receiving this Maureen Enser Award tonight. It's well-deserved. Congratulations.
This is a little nerve-wracking. So I had to write just down a couple of quick thank you notes. Thank you very much for the award. The UDI has been very kind in the opportunities that they've granted to me to get involved over the years. Very special thank you as well to Maureen and Gary for getting me first involved with the UDI as part of the U40 group. Just a few other quick thank yous that I'd be remiss in not sharing. To my wife, Michelle, without her support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and if I don't keep this short and sweet with her, I may start to ramble or get a bit emotional. My mom and dad, for your example and your own immigration story, and giving Flavia and I the opportunity to do what we do in one of the best cities in the world. To my sister, Flavia, for putting up with me on a daily basis and working side by side with me and leading our family company into the next generation. To my team, too numerous to individually pick out, but all equally important, for sharing their talents and success with us and for making our family proud for how they work relentlessly beside us. And last but not least, to the community and the industry, to our neighbors, municipalities, homeowners, clients, and partners that we city build together with in efforts to create a greater, more inclusive place for all of us. Thank you for pushing us to do better and to be better. We look forward to further shared successes moving forward together. Thanks again.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Ward, and thank you, Greg. You know, Daniel Boffo, I mean, look at him. He's rich, he's handsome, he's smart, he knows what he's doing. And unlike Donald Trump, he has freakishly large hands. Our next category is suburban residential. The finalists in this category are
Suburban Residential, Royce, Forge Properties. City Homes at Northgate, Century Group. Portage, Aragon Properties.
And the winner is Portage, developed by Aragon Properties Limited.
So thank you so much to UDI. We certainly appreciate the award. Thank you very much to Bernie DeCoste of BDA Architecture, who took the initial design and made it into something very special for us. Most of all, I want to thank our president and owner, Lenny Moy. He's the individual who had the vision to take the project, and even though the market is very solid, we didn't have to do things like import special panels from South America, add beautiful accordion doors to our loft units, do special brick that was reclaimed from a project in the downtown area of Vancouver. We did all of those things to make the project more beautiful, and at the end of the day, I think we ended up with something very successful. So thank you again to UDI and to everybody.
Suburban residential. The suburbs, I love the suburbs. You know, the suburbs are where they chop down all the trees and then they name the streets after them. Our next category is urban high-rise residential, sponsored by BFL Canada. Thank you, Nigel Clark. Your finalists are
Urban High-Rise Residential, MC2, Intracorp Projects. Modern, Amacon. One Pacific, Concord Pacific Developments.
And the winner is One Pacific, developed by Concord Pacific Development.
Thank you very much. I'm Peter Webb, Senior Vice President at Concord Pacific. I just wrote a note so I remember who's on the project, but I want to say many thanks to the team that worked very hard on the project, IBI Architects, David Tom and Jeff Christensen, and the interior design firm of Live Interiors, which is Olivia Lamb, Terrence Chan, Ken Leo. And then the sales and marketing team, we have Grant Murray. These are in-house people. Peter Eugenia. And the development team was Matt Meehan and myself. Matt Meehan put together an exceptional deal between Pavco in order to facilitate the construction of the new gaming facility adjacent to BC Place. So it was quite a complex project to do. The thing that I want to mention on this project, so we took what was originally what Concord has developed for now 30 years. It's become to be known as the Vancouver model, which is the classic tower and podium solution for Vancouver, and it's been copied around the world. And we found we're in this new situation where we're going to do two buildings on either side of the Canby Bridgehead, one on the east side, which would be the One Pacific, and one on the west side, which is the ARC that we have now sold out and will be building soon. And we tried to create a new gateway entrance into the city with two hands clapping. You might have seen that in the video. But we like to call this new version Vancouverism 2.0, and it's caused by this new kind of wall form of building. It allows us to create a new kind of residential unit that's flexible for small units, and we sold about 150 of those units under $300,000. So with that, I'd like to thank you for recognizing the project, and thanks very much to the team at Concord Pacific.
You know, Pete works for Terry Huey, and I don't know how Terry Huey does it. He's been here since 1990 working on the north part of False Creek. He still looks like he's 19. But as a result of all this development, he's also pretty rich. In fact, he's so rich that his boat has its own postal code. I'm in the wrong business. Suburban high-rise residential, sponsored by Aviva Canada, the National Home Warranty. I'd like to invite up Chad Palmer to come up on the stage and say a few words.
Good evening. I'd start to actually like to, I'd like to start by actually thanking Anne, your staff, and the board of directors at the UDI for their work this past year. The development industry obviously has seen a lot of rules and regulations in the housing market change. As a result, and for all your efforts, we just want to say thank you. Sorry, I'm a really good public speaker. I'm just nervous today. Thank you. Who is National Home Warranty and Aviva Canada? National Home Warranty is a wholly owned company of Aviva. We are an established brand in the new home warranty market with 4,000 builders across Western Canada, about 15,000 starts per year. Beyond warranty, we are also the market leader in deposit insurance from Western Canada to Ontario. We can shape a deal for anyone from a townhouse builder to a regional town center. We're proudly local in our approach and global in our reach. A testament to this is our Aviva Community Fund. In 7 years, we've raised close to $6.5 million. As a company, our culture is based on some simple values, such as caring more, never resting, creating legacy, all values we see within this room. In closing, and on behalf of National Home Warranty and Aviva Canada, we'd like to congratulate all the nominees and winners tonight. Well done. Thank you.
Suburban high-rise residential. The finalists in this category are
Suburban high-rise residential, Era Concert Properties, M3 Cressy Development Corporation, Trapp and Holbrook, Salient Developments.
And the winner is M3, developed by Cressy Development Corporation.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank UDI. Of course, I'd like to thank my team, led by Hanny Leman here, who did a great job through it. Mac Marketing, who did all the marketing. Keith Hempel, who is responsible for how the whole building looks, how it all came together. He did a fabulous job. And of course, like Don Forsgren did, I'd like to thank the City of Coquitlam. I'd like to thank the Planning Department, the Building Department, Council, the Mayor, Richard Stewart. An absolutely wonderful, wonderful place to do business. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it.
You know, winning an award tonight is like winning the lottery. Did you hear the one about the UDI member who won the lottery? And he went home and he said, "Honey, I won the lottery. Get packed." And his spouse said, "Should I pack for the mountains or should I pack for the ocean?" And he says, "I don't care. Just get the hell out." The next one is Excellence in Heritage. Your finalists are
Heritage, Trapp and Holbrook, Salient Developments. 411 Dunsmuir, Omicron Developments, CRS Group. Era, Concert Properties.
And the winner is Trapp and Holbrook, developed by Salient Properties.
Thank you very much. I really wanted to thank our team for this project. It was a complicated project, and there was components of heritage as well as introducing new residential into downtown New Westminster. And the design team did a fabulous job of knitting those two things together. So I really wanted to thank Martin Bruckner at IBI for creating the new in a very difficult heritage environment, and very much Eric Pattison for bringing back the spirit of historic downtown New Westminster. And he did a fabulous job. My team as well, in particular Richard Whitstock, who led the project and did a fantastic job. The contracting team with Ventana and John Sharp, thank you very much. But really most of all, the City of New Westminster, led by Lisa Spitali. Thank you, Lisa. It was a great process, a great project. Love the process so much, I think we did it 3 times. Thank you very much.
There's a new category this year, multifamily market rental. The finalists are
Multifamily Market Rental, Northwoods Village, GWL Realty Advisors. The Clive, JN Development Group. ARIA, Qualex Landmark Residences.
And the winner is ARIA, developed by Qualex Landmark.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cyrus Navabi. Thank you very much to the UDI. I'll say a few very quick thank yous. Thank you to GBL and Amla Brudar for their wonderful design. Thank you to Marcon for building a first-class building for us. Thank you to our team at Qualex and our founder, Mohammed Isfahani, who's mentored me very kindly. And thank you above all to the other founder of Qualex, my father, Roger Navabi, who had a vision for this project, and everyone told him, you're crazy to build rental in this location, and he didn't care. So we did, and it's turned out very well. Thank you, everyone.
You all work with planners, right? You know, you want your kids to live forever, you tell them to become a planner. They never die. They just keep going on and on and on and on. I know. The next category is multi-phase development, sponsored by MLA Canada. I'd like to call upon Cameron McNeil to say a few words as our gold sponsor.
Thank you, Brian. Great evening. Welcome, everybody. For those of you who know me, Cameron McNeil. Most of you associate me with Mac Marketing Solutions. Today I've been introduced with a new company called MLA Canada. And the reason behind that is earlier in the year, almost a year ago now, Mac Marketing Solutions merged with this crazy, hot, growing company called Boulevard Marketing Group, and it's been quite a shot of adrenaline in our arm. It's very exciting. Mac Marketing Solutions is not going anywhere. Boulevard Marketing Group is not going anywhere. but those are now two distinct divisions under a new company called MLA Canada. So today, on behalf of MLA Canada, I'm very delighted to introduce and present the next award. Multi-phase development for us is something that is a really special award that we're very honored to be involved with. As our projects become more complex, these kinds of projects, multi-phase projects, multi-use projects, there's so many more variables and moving parts. And it's when you travel around and you see other cities, you realize what leaders we are here in Vancouver. So with that, it's a great honor to present this. Brian, I'll let you do the honors. Thank you.
The finalists are
Multi-phase development, River's Edge, Canada Lands Company. The Grove, Town Line Group of Companies. Station Square, Anthem Properties, and BD Living.
And the winner is River's Edge, developed by Canada Lands Company.
I'd like to thank UDI for recognizing the Canada Lands team for River's Edge. I'll introduce the team. Ken Dewick, Canada Lands office in Chilliwack. We've got Kim Perry and Associates and Mark Ankerman, who have steered a beautiful neighborhood project out there. And also Randy Fassan, formerly with Canada Lands, who's done a great job envisioning. And River's Edge is absolutely beautiful. I encourage you to go and have a look at it. Very sensitive environmental location, and they spun the neighborhood onto a new green access. It's paradigm shifting for the Fraser Valley. We look forward to showing you more what Canada Lands can do in the years to come.
Congratulations, and thanks again to Cam McNeil and MLA Canada. You know, when you hire consultants, sometimes they have big egos, don't they? So, yeah. So an engineer, an architect, and a planner are standing before God at the gates of heaven. And God looks at them and says, well, before granting you a place at my side, I must first ask you what you believe in. So he asks the engineer, what do you believe in? The engineer looks God in the eye and says, I believe that through great engineering, that it is for the good of all. Nothing brings such unbridled joy from the slums of Rio to the bright lights of Barcelona than projects that are well engineered. I've devoted my life to bring joy to people in this way. So God looks up and he offers the engineer a seat to his left. So then the architect stands tall and proud and he says, I believe in good art and design, and they're fundamental to the enjoyment of life. And I've spent my whole career in the living embodiment of the quest for the best of these. And God was moved by this speech. And so he said to the architect, you may have a seat on my right. Finally, he turns to the planner and he says, and you, as a planner, what do you believe? I believe you're sitting in my seat. The next award is for excellence in innovation. We'd like to thank GBL Architects for sponsoring this category. Your finalists are
Innovation, The Clubhouse at Tsawwassen Springs, Talisman Homes, Chateau Holdings. ISS of BC, New Welcome House, BC Housing. Cordovan, Boffo Properties.
And the winner is Cordovan, developed by Boffo Properties.
On behalf of our Boffo Properties team, Flavia, Daniel, and our entire project team, we just want to say thank you for this recognition. Our Cordovan project was a labor of love that would not have been possible without the support of our project team Our lenders, People's Trust and Realtech. From the City of Vancouver, Brian Jackson and Penny Ballam. From BC Housing, Michael Flanagan. And our amazing and incredible nonprofit housing provider, MPA Society. As well as the homeowners who believed in the vision of this project. Together with them, we look forward to building future inclusive communities. Thank you very much.
So sometimes it really gets out of hand when you hire a consultant. They sometimes can't figure out who's the greatest. So a judge, a bishop, and a planner were all having a discussion, and they were all pretty vain. And their talk soon turned to who was the greatest. Well, the judge says, my position is one of dignity and power. When I walk into a courtroom, the bailiff says, all rise, and everybody stands to pay me honor. So the bishop says, well, that's very nice, but when people come to see me, they kneel, kiss my ring, and call me Your Eminence. The planner, of course, the vainest of them all, says, I got you both beat. When I walk into a room as a consultant, people put their hands on their head and say, oh my God. The finalists in the institutional category are
Institutional, Ponderosa Commons, UBC Properties Trust. Robert H. Lee Alumni Center, UBC Properties Trust. Oak Bay High School, Farmer Construction.
And the winner is Robert H. Lee Alumni Center, developed by UBC Properties Trust.
I just took my 25 seconds to walk up here, so I'll make this quick. My name is Dan Giordano, and I'm here on behalf of UBC Properties Trust. I'd like to thank UDI for this award, and I'd also like to thank the project team, everyone from the architects at KPMG, the architects at HCMA, all the way down to the laborer cleaning the job site to make sure this was done on time. I'd also like to thank Bob Lee. He's the fine gentleman that this building is named after. He's an alumni of UBC, and he's given a lot back to UBC, and he's also done a lot for UBC Properties Trust, so I just wanted to take this moment to recognize him. Thank
you. Congratulations to UBC Properties Trust. We have another new category this year, non-market housing. This is a really, really tough one for me because I was personally involved, intimately involved in two of the projects and peripherally involved through my staff on the third one. So this is, I'm so glad I didn't have to be the judge on this and make the selection because this would be like, which is your favorite child? The finalists for non-market housing are
Non-Market Housing, ISS of BC, BC Housing, Kiwanis, Polygon Homes, New Jubilee House, Brenhill Developments.
And the winner is New Jubilee House, developed by Brenhill Developments.
Thank you very much for this honor. I want to thank Rob McDonald tonight for his speech, talking so eloquently about my neighbor, Nat Boza, and also pointing out what this industry really is about. So since he made that lovely speech tonight, I've calculated that on this project, and thank you, Brian, it's a very nice thing to intro. I feel there's 1,500 to 2,000 people that made this building happen. So tonight I'd like to thank them. Thank
Mac Jacks and Brent Kerr are very, very smart people. I was very lucky to work with them. Speaking of smart, you know, Einstein, he died and he went to heaven, and the first person he saw, he said, "Excuse me, what's your IQ?" And the person says, "Well, it's 180. And Einstein says, "Great, we can talk about astrophysics." The second person he runs into, he says, "Well, what's your IQ?" And the fellow says, "Well, it's 150. And Einstein says, "Great, we can talk about current events." Third person he runs into, he says, "Well, what's your IQ?" And the fellow says, "Well, it's 45. And Einstein says, "Great, where do you think the real estate market's going?" 4 years ago, UDI, in response to increasing growth and demand, expanded into the Fraser Valley. Under the leadership of Diane Delves from Quantum Properties, this group has been growing in popularity and having more and more events each year. In acknowledgement of increasing development in the region, UDI has created 2 additional new categories, both sponsored by Fortis BC. The 2 categories are Best of Fraser Valley Residential and Best of Fraser Valley Commercial. Your finalists in the Best of the Fraser Valley Residential are
Best of the Fraser Valley Residential, Heritage, the Infinity Group of Companies, Royce, Forge Properties, Highcroft Row Homes, Streetside Developments, a Qualico company.
And the winner is Heritage by the Infinity Group of Companies.
Greetings from the Fraser Valley. It's good to be here. And thank you to UDI and to the panel of judges. I want to thank, on behalf of my company, my team at Infinity. I'd like to thank the team of consultants as well as the contractors and the sales and marketing team. But especially I want to thank the Township of Langley because they actually sold us a site and believed that we could actually develop out like this. So thank you very much.
Just love that Fraser Valley accent. Thanks to Fortis BC and congratulations. The winner for the Best of the Fraser Valley Commercial is
Best of the Fraser Valley Commercial Retail Office, Coast Capital Headquarters, PCI Developments Corporation.
Well, thank you very much again to UDI for this award. It's a great project. We're very proud of it. It's an important part of the emerging new town center in Surrey, and we look forward to continuing future phases of the development. And on behalf of the project team and PCI that I mentioned earlier, I'd just again like to thank Ledcor, who are our contractor, MCM Architects, who came up with this very innovative design, and Jarvis Roulard and Triovest, who represented our pension fund partners on this project as well as Marine Gateway. Thank you very much.
The next award is for those beyond hope, literally beyond hope. So it's the Best of the Okanagan. Groan. You try it. Come on. The finalists are
Best of the Okanagan, Brighton Mission Group Homes, Queensway Transit Exchange, City of Kelowna, Lakestone, McDonald Lakestone Properties.
And the winner is Queensway Transit Exchange, developed by the City of Kelowna.
Thank you very much. I'm Scott Taylor with Via Architecture. We're the designers and the architects for the project. The City of Kelowna is very grateful and honored with your award. They stood beside us and encouraged us to come up with a unique place for their transit system to really encourage ridership, encourage safety and friendliness, and embrace the riders and provide a warm and unique setting for the public to use. Thank you very much.
Now, on to the best of Vancouver Island. Your finalists are
Best of Vancouver Island, Era, Concert Properties. The Clive, JN Development Group. Eagle Creek Village, Omicron Developments.
And the winner is Era, developed by Concert Properties.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much to the UDI for the recognition and the award. We've had a long-standing presence in Victoria. We've been there for over 16 years. We've done almost 12 projects in the city of Victoria. This one was by no means one of the easier ones. It started out its life as an office idea and quickly converted to a residential project. It had the most challenging two-story heritage restoration project attached to it. But in any event, I really want to thank our architects, Richard Henry Architect, as well as Fouad Rafi Architects, and our entire team, our design team, in-house, our development group, our sales and marketing team, our construction team, for all the work they've done on this. So thank you very much.
Home stretch now. We're at the top of the ninth. Whatever the heck that means, I was told to say that. We only have 2 awards left. I'd like to invite Pete Reisner from the Vancouver Sun to come up on stage and present the Reader's Choice Award, sponsored by the Vancouver Sun.
The Vancouver Sun is once again proud to partner with the UDI on the Reader's Choice Award for Best High Rise. Over the last 6 weeks, readers were invited to vote for their favorite urban or suburban high rise from a selection of 6 superior projects that were completed within the last 2 years. Each finalist received a project profile in print and online, which was socially amped through Facebook and Twitter to create engagement and encourage voting. Our state-of-the-art Hootsuite voting platform enriched the user experience by giving visitors access to short videos, photo galleries, and project summaries. In total, more than 12,000 votes were cast. Most surprising was the visitor mix. 20,300 unique visitors accessed the site from 15 different countries and economic regions, including Hong Kong, China, Singapore, Russia, Australia, and the US. This represents a 200% increase in unique visitors from our 2014 Reader's Choice Award. The spike in interest clearly demonstrates the global appreciation of excellence and opportunity in Vancouver's development industry. Has the foreign buyer's tax actually curbed enthusiasm for Vancouver real estate? One thing is certain, Postmedia and the Vancouver Sun can help you reach your target audience anywhere in the world. Shameless, I know. Finally, I'd like to thank the UDI for giving our readers a voice. We hope that the contributions of the Vancouver Sun's audience will help guide developers in achieving excellence as we continue to build a world-class city. I'm honored to present this prestigious award on behalf of Postmedia and the Vancouver Sun. And the finalists are Town Lines, Harmony, Dana Homes, Beacon at Sealand Village, Concords One Pacific, Town Lines 999 Seymour, Amicons Modern, and Intracores MC Squared. This year's award goes to a true architectural icon, and the winner of the 2016 Reader's Choice Award for Best High Rise is Concord One Pacific.
Hello, thank you, everyone. I guess this is voted by the public, so it's like winning the popular vote and the electoral vote. So I think this is definitely not rigged, okay? Joking aside, okay? I think tonight, I think we owe Brian Jackson's, I think he's doing a great job as the MC, right? And I was told by Peter Webb I should not go off topic, but I want to go off topic a little bit, okay? But I'm not going to not about the U.S. election, okay? Something more in keep with the evening, okay? There's like one project that we did in the last, I think completed 2 years ago, and it's actually done by 2 developers. So actually it's easy for UDI to give this award. You can just one trophy to 2, 1 for 2. As I see all the projects got one name on it, but somehow this project missed the submission time because of the completion schedule. There's a project in English Bay done between us and Millennium, and it's a 20-story high-rise project. It's a great project. It's been great experience working with Peter and Sharon. Peter is here tonight, and I think deserve the recognition. It's done by 2 teams, 1 for 2, you know, but. So I think the One Pacific project is an interesting project because at the end of Canby Bridge, we always know that this is going to be the standing at the entrance to the city. And actually, it's the entrance to Concord Pacific Place from our perspective, okay? And of course, you know, there's a building that's mirroring the gateway formed by One Pacific. It's called the Art. It's approved by, we work with the city of Vancouver. It was approved by Brian Jackson, you know. Again, I have to thank him, recognize him twice, and make sure that he don't spread rumors about me that's not true, okay? And of course, finally, I want to recognize the people who really put the money up to build all these projects, my bankers, of course. So this project is financed by TD Bank, HSBC, and BNS. Thank you.
Terry brought up the U.S. election. I wasn't going to say anything, but, you know, Trump did call me. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he offered me the job of Secretary of Venom. So I turned him down. So before we all head over to the Hollywood after party, which is in full swing, we have come to the most exciting part of the night, the most prestigious award, the best of the best. It's like Best Picture, you know, right at the end of the Academy Awards. Best in Show, sponsored by TD Bank. I'd like to invite up Kevin Hamoka to say a few words and to hand out the award.
First, we'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the nominees tonight. It's your forward thinking, the creative design you incorporate into your projects that are truly a benchmark to our industry. At TD, we work on strengthening both the social and economic development within the communities we operate in every day. Our affiliation with the UDI and our partnership with a number of you in attendance tonight literally allows us to build our communities, and for that we thank you.
The Best in Show award goes to Marine Gateway, developed by PCI Development Corporation.
Well, thank you very much. I was given an opportunity earlier to speak briefly about Marine Gateway, but I'm always pleased to talk about Marine Gateway. When we first envisioned this project, the Canada Line, we thought was going to make a significant difference in Vancouver, but it was only just started construction. We bought the site in 2007, and we believed that this was an opportunity to bring a mix of uses together that would create a synergy and a really unique, strong project, a new neighborhood center. And we're so proud of how it's turned out. I'd also like to thank one of our lenders, TD Bank at Marine Gateway. They were a great part of our team. So thank you very much. We're very proud of Marine Gateway. Thank you.
Well, that wraps it up. Congratulations to all the projects this year. We'd especially like to thank everybody for coming to the Urban Development Institute's Awards for Excellence 2016. It's been a great night. Thank you very much to the Hyatt Regency and all their staff. Thank you to the UDI staff, especially to Jenny Normando. A complete list of the finalists and winners will be available on the UDI website tomorrow. And once again, we'd like to thank our generous sponsors. Good night, everybody.